Our train leaves at 2:30. Our train leaves at 2:30. Tom's train arrives at 2:30. Tom's train arrives at 2:30. I left Tom's house at 2:30. I left Tom's house at 2:30. Tom will meet Mary at 2:30. Tom will meet Mary at 2:30. Tom made us wait until 2:30. Tom made us wait until 2:30. Tom left here at about 2:30. Tom left here at about 2:30. I'll be meeting Tom at 2:30. I'll be meeting Tom at 2:30. Tom won't be home until 2:30. Tom won't be home until 2:30. Tom plans to wait until 2:30. Tom plans to wait until 2:30. Tom usually does that at 2:30. Tom usually does that at 2:30. Tom's train will arrive at 2:30. Tom's train will arrive at 2:30. Tom sometimes gets home around 2:30. Tom sometimes gets home around 2:30. Tom generally does that around 2:30. Tom generally does that around 2:30. Tom generally gets home around 2:30. Tom generally gets home around 2:30. Tom usually goes swimming before 2:30. Tom usually goes swimming before 2:30. Tom had to go home at 2:30. Tom had to go home at 2:30. Tom has to be ready by 2:30. Tom has to be ready by 2:30. Tom needs to be ready by 2:30. Tom needs to be ready by 2:30. Tom told me he'd call at 2:30. Tom told me he'd call at 2:30. Tom said he'd do that by 2:30. Tom said he'd do that by 2:30. Tom likes to get home by 2:30. Tom likes to get home by 2:30. Tom has until 2:30 to do that. Tom has until 2:30 to do that. Tom will be very drunk by 2:30. Tom will be very drunk by 2:30. Tom will probably be home by 2:30. Tom will probably be home by 2:30. Tom promised he'd be here by 2:30. Tom promised he'd be here by 2:30. Tom probably won't be back by 2:30. Tom probably won't be back by 2:30. Tom said that he waited until 2:30. Tom said that he waited until 2:30. Tom is supposed to call around 2:30. Tom is supposed to call around 2:30. Tom won't likely be here until 2:30. Tom won't likely be here until 2:30. Tom should be here tomorrow at 2:30. Tom should be here tomorrow at 2:30. Tom should be here tomorrow by 2:30. Tom should be here tomorrow by 2:30. Please remember to call Tom at 2:30. Please remember to call Tom at 2:30. Tom will be very intoxicated by 2:30. Tom will be very intoxicated by 2:30. Tom worked until 2:30 in the morning. Tom worked until 2:30 in the morning. Tom is leaving at 2:30 this afternoon. Tom is leaving at 2:30 this afternoon. I'll meet Tom at 2:30 tomorrow afternoon. I'll meet Tom at 2:30 tomorrow afternoon. Tom was supposed to call Mary at 2:30. Tom was supposed to call Mary at 2:30. Tom promised Mary he'd be back by 2:30. Tom promised Mary he'd be back by 2:30. Tom promised that he'd be here by 2:30. Tom promised that he'd be here by 2:30. I'm meeting Tom at the airport at 2:30. I'm meeting Tom at the airport at 2:30. Tom has been waiting for you since 2:30. Tom has been waiting for you since 2:30. It's already 2:30 and Tom isn't here yet. It's already 2:30 and Tom isn't here yet. Tom should be finished doing that by 2:30. Tom should be finished doing that by 2:30. Tom will be leaving at 2:30 this afternoon. Tom will be leaving at 2:30 this afternoon. I'll meet Tom at 2:30 at the main gate. I'll meet Tom at 2:30 at the main gate. I have to be in Boston by 2:30 tomorrow. I have to be in Boston by 2:30 tomorrow. I hope Tom is finished doing that by 2:30. I hope Tom is finished doing that by 2:30. Tom has to be finished doing that by 2:30. Tom has to be finished doing that by 2:30. I know Tom was finished doing that by 2:30. I know Tom was finished doing that by 2:30. I wonder where Tom was at 2:30 that afternoon. I wonder where Tom was at 2:30 that afternoon.